Welcome to Sketching Up and happy holidays. Merry Christmas for those of you that celebrate as we are here. It is Christmas Day. And unbelievably, the year is almost over, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah,
really,
that's insane.
really crazy to think about.
Insane.
I'm Chris, and Matt is back with us after being sick and skipping out on us. He just didn't want to join, probably, but he said he was sick, and now he's back.
I was sick. I still am a little sick, so you can probably hear it in me.
Yeah, see, he's trying to ditch out early on this one too. Make me solo pod.
Dude.
It's funny because you when you said you weren't feeling well, I eventually ended up last week working with Joe Brown, friend of the show, been on plenty of times. But when you said, "Do you want a solo pod?" I sat there. I'm like, to be honest, no, I don't. I don't want a solo pod. I need someone on there with me, but Joe saved the day. So how are you feeling? You said
better, man. It's like one of those, because the weather has been so weird here in Philly, where it got like really cold and then really warm, and like it's such in a flip. I got a sinus infection, and the weekend before we were going to record, I was at a funeral. So I was with a bunch of people. I was around a bunch of people. Yeah. I was probably swapping germs, hugging people, and giving my condolences and crap like that. So I brought that home with me, and I was not happy about it because, like you said, we're already at Christmas. Like, it happened at the worst time. I was like still trying to get all the Christmas stuff together. The family was coming down. Like, I was like, this is not the time to get sick.
I feel bad, but I'm like, super last minute Christmas shopping, like super last minute. Just the job I'm in is just a little tough around the holidays. So getting out to the store while they're open is not an easy task.
Yeah, it's I don't know about, like, I know Houston and a lot of Texas cities are very spread out. So like,
yes,
it's
Houston's
not like a normal
spread out.
It's not like a normal city like where I live in. Like, a lot of stores, I'm lucky enough to be like, oh, I'm getting done with work late. I could still go to that store and buy something. I'll have like another. I'll have at the least I'll have another half hour.
I don't have that excuse. I live next to all the major stores, literally right next door.
But, really?
Yeah, like Target, Walmart, all of them. They're right here.
Nice.
But when I get home, it's either they're about to close or they're closing soon, and I can't just go straight to the store. So
yeah,
it is what it is. That's what Amazon's for. Deliver it right to them. I don't see most of them during the holiday anyway. So
yeah, that's fair.
Being in Houston. By the way, it wasn't just by you. It got down to like 38 here, something like that, which is very cold. And the next day it was like 82. Makes no sense.
That is horrible. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I hate it.
Me too. You know what the thing I dislike the most? I think it's actually been brought up on this podcast before. Whenever you talk to somebody from somewhere and the weather's crazy, that's blank weather. Like, it's literally the weather everywhere.
It's the weather everywhere. Like, I can't, like, I know it's happening all across the country. And like, it used to just be in like sections you get that weird weather. Like, a place like Colorado. Colorado gets the most extreme weather all year round. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen. And then you're like, oh, that's just Colorado weather for you. But now it's like, no, I live in Philadelphia on the East Coast, and it was almost 60 something degrees the other day. And then 2 days later, we got a snowstorm.
Yeah. I mean, I know the weather's definitely changing. Like, that's clear. But I feel like, and I've lived in a lot of places, the weather is the same everywhere you go. Like, everywhere has its extremes. Like, by you, it's going to be more of like snow extremes and stuff like that. By me, it's more like thunderstorm, tornado extremes. But like, everyone's going to have their extremes. But it's just anywhere you go to Boise. Oh, that's just Boise weather. It's like, no, this happens everywhere. I'm just surprised it's happening right now. But I don't care if I'm going to Boise, or I'm going to New York, or I'm going to Miami. All the weather's exactly the same. It's almost like that's got to be the starting talking point for people. Like, I know where I'll get them.
Yeah.
I guess it is, because like the cliche is, how's the weather up there for tall people? So people just love to talk about the weather.
Yeah.
We can all relate.
We can all relate. Yeah.
And it doesn't put you in a bad mood. And if it does.
You know what does put me in a bad mood? You know what puts me in a bad mood? I'm going to tell you right now is the MCU is putting me in a bad mood.
Oh
The
yeah.
just MCU it's just putting me in a bad mood. I
So
mean,
my sweatshirt puts you in a bad mood. Trying
yeah,
to be
you have
festive
put me in a
spirit
bad
with
mood. You started it, and it's kind of pissed me off already.
Yeah.
I'm we go a very long time with the Avengers Doomsday that's coming out this time next year, which I am excited about. It's the Russo brothers. I can't wait. And they've done a good job up until now of really not showing us much or not telling us much, which I like. Again, that's great. They did that with Endgame. You know, the only clue we had from the Russo brothers about what Endgame is going to be is because when Infinity War ended, we didn't even know the title for the next Avenger movie. And they just said to us that a character in Infinity War says the title of the next movie.
We're in the end game now.
Yep. And that was perfect. And we didn't really get that many leaks, you know.
Character was
Doctor Strange. So I was happy with like not knowing much about this. We got the little pictures from like Robert Downey Jr., who was like sitting in a chair reading a Doctor Doom comic.
Who was, by the way, done with the MCU. Remember?
Oh, totally done.
Totally done.
And then
done. He can't do it anymore. Yes.
And then out of nowhere, honestly, people start getting these hints that, oh, we're going to get a trailer soon. We were supposed to get a trailer that was attached to the Avatar movie. And that was fine. I was waiting for that. And it was probably going to be more of a teaser kind of trailer. Well, all of a sudden, all this stuff with Steve Rogers comes out. He's on a bike. He drives in. Spoiler alert for everybody here. All right. I'm that pissed off.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm excited to hear this.
So it starts off, you hear the Avengers theme kind of mixed with the Cap theme. You know how Captain America had his own theme? Yeah. So it was kind of mixed in this kind of melody of that in the Avengers. And it's him pulling up to the house that he went to at the end of Endgame to meet with Peggy. You know, he went back to returned all the stones, and then he just stayed.
Yeah.
Well, it's him. He's in a bike, gets off, goes in the house. He has his Captain America suit that he wore, puts it in a case, closes the case, kind of does another cut over, and is him holding what we can see is a child. And it's most likely his child.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too. But knowing the cuck that he is, it's definitely not his.
He stole a child.
But then it was like that blew up and people started going crazy about it. And then maybe a couple hours later, the audio for the next teaser trailer is the voice of Thor saying a prayer to Odin. Like he's going into battle. It was kind of a prayer to see him through this next battle and bless him so he can get through to see his daughter at the end. And then, like, maybe a couple hours after that, the visual of that comes out.
So things are just leaking is what
you're saying. So then I'm like, okay, there was these rumors that we're going to get like 4 teaser trailers until the initial trailer comes out. That was like the rumor. And I'm like, all right, so we're now down 2. All right. We have 2 more of these teasers and then the actual one. And I don't know what this is coming from. Then I'm on Reddit and all of a sudden I see breaking another Marvel trailer has been leaked. And I'm like, all right, we're going for 3 of 4, baby. Here we go. I wonder what this is going to be. It's the audio of the trailer for the new Spider-Man. Yeah. What is going is the MCU the Titanic? Is it just leaking everywhere? Is it cracked in the middle and just leaks are just floating out?
It honestly, there's a good chance that it's like planned. It's a planned leak. This happens a lot with this kind of stuff, I think, where they
That's what I think, because then I see this guy I follow, Soups. I don't know if you've seen him on TikTok or whatever. He's like big in the comic book movie world. He goes to
soups.
premieres. Yeah, look him up.
Okay,
I think you would recognize him. And he's
it's
like
possible.
very overzealous about everything. Like I'm indifferent about him. Like I'll listen to what he says, but he has done a very good job of being a comic book influencer, and he's getting invited onto he was on the set of Superman while it was filming. He was did something with the MCU. I don't know. He does a bunch of things. And he went on a live stream and pretty much he was like, I can't put this on screen for you guys to see, but I'm going to give you a detailed description while I watch this. So I'm like, what's the difference between putting it on your screen and then just giving us a spoiler influx of spoilers of this trailer? Like, why would you do that?
Well,
So then,
I'm just
like
gonna.
you said, I feel like he got the okay from someone, because he's not going to, if he has that much pull behind the scenes and being able to go to these premieres and all that, I don't think he's going to ruin it by spoiling things
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not
this
going to
early.
dive too much into all this because it's in the last episode, obviously you weren't here as Joe and I, but we were kind of talking about how movies have changed and like now you're seeing more like actual story films, not to discredit any superhero movie or anything like that, but more actual story films are being the ones that people are going to see, and A24 has been huge and all that
Well,
stuff.
we've talked about that a
Yeah, we've
lot.
also talked about that a lot, and I think because superhero movies are just clearly on the other side of the hill where people are not excited for them, people don't really go see them. I'm not gonna lie to you, I still haven't seen Fantastic Four because I just haven't had the urge to watch it. Like I have, I there have been plenty of opportunities when I've been on planes, but I just haven't actually just taken the time to sit down and watch it because before I got to it, which I didn't get to see it when it first came out because I was, doing whatever. But before I was able to go watch it, all I heard was like, you know, you don't need to go see it. You don't need to really watch it. Like, yeah, you'll want to watch it eventually, but at this point, you don't really need to watch it. There's nothing, you're not missing much kind of thing. So I haven't even seen that. But that's kind of the sentiment with a lot of people with the superhero movies. It's just overplayed, overdone. So I think this is more of the marketing ploy. I don't think it's like a coincidence that a bunch of things from Disney and Marvel are all leaking at the same time. Like that doesn't shock me. That doesn't surprise me. I don't think we even have to dive too deep into that because it's clearly a marketing ploy to try to get people. Because what are you going to talk about more? The trailer dropping and going on YouTube and whatever, going on Instagram, or the stories that are going to be written because they leaked all over the place.
Yeah,
Leaking.
leaking,
That's the way to do it.
100%. They're
So
going to talk about the leaking.
that just makes a lot of sense to me. And it's Joe said it last time. Um, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, they couldn't come, they had to write off their characters because they're done. The contract's up. They want to move on to other things. The characters played out, blah, 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 blah. And now here they are coming on back. But they were already written out of all these storylines because they didn't like Robert Downey Jr. like did not want to continue. He wanted to do other things, and he did. He did Oppenheimer and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, but he wanted to do other things. And
Yeah.
now he's like, I want to come back. I don't know.
I also think it's Kevin Feige. Like, obviously for the past 3 years they've been putting out just lackluster movies and TV shows. He's not confident like he was back in the day with these new characters, so he has to do something. to
Yeah,
bring
and he
back the
shouldn't be
money.
because they're not doing anything. They're not successful.
Yeah, they're not successful. I mean, the it's no, it doesn't surprise me that this uh, Mahersh Ali Blade movie
Hmm.
has been in development for almost like 8 years now, and it has moved forward because they're terrified. They don't they don't they don't know what to do with the character. They don't know what to do with the story, and they're afraid that they're going to put it out and it's going to be a dud.
Yeah. Well, and this is the last thing I'll give on it personally, but the other thing is like now they have Spider-Man because again, I keep going back. We kind of talked about this, not the trailers, but we talked about a lot what we're talking about right now in the last episode. And we talked about how the biggest characters in Marvel before the movies were the ones they didn't own because they sold them all because they were going bankrupt. Spider-Man, Hulk,
Yeah,
X-Men, all those ones they sold off because they were their most popular
Fantastic
uh,
Four.
Fantastic Four, their most popular assets, including Doctor Doom. Like he was the villain of Marvel forever.
Yeah,
But they didn't have the rights to him, so now it was Thanos. So like now they built these characters. So they basically had A minus B plus characters, all of them. Like Captain America is the closest you're gonna get to like the S tiers, like of the Hulk and Spider Man and Wolverine
of
and
course.
those
Yeah,
guys. But the rest of them were not. Like we went back and forth because I think Iron Man was like a C minus tier before the movies. Joe thinks he was more of like in the B tier before the movies. Doesn't matter. He was not a popular character in Marvel
well,
at
I would
all.
say in comic books, Captain America crossed over more frequently with the big names like the Fantastic Four, with the X
Yeah,
Men, with
100%.
Spider Man.
Yeah.
He crossed over. He fought Doctor Doom. He's done all those things. Iron Man hardly crossed over to do anything with these other characters
He
for a
was a
very long
drunk
time.
trash can. He was a drunk trash can. And Iron Man was built up to what he is now. Now he's top, top two maybe from the MCU of Captain America and Iron Man. Um, since those movies came out, so they built all these characters up. They took the characters they had, and now they're like, oh, we could do it again. But now you're not working with B and C plus. You're working with C minus D and F. But
Yeah.
you're throwing in S tiers like the Fantastic Four and Spider Man and Wolverine's going to be in there and all that stuff. But it's just not going to carry. No one cares about the characters you're putting out there. So that's the last thing I'll say about it is if no one's going to care about the ancillary characters, no one's going to care about the movies because it's going to be a lot of. Why go watch an Avengers movie when it's starring Spider-Man? Just make it a Spider-Man movie at that point. Like I don't need to
Yeah.
see all these other people that no one's going to care about. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, on the other hand, with we have DC, we had the new Supergirl trailer come out, which to me was underwhelming for one. I like how they did her character. We got a little snippet of Jason Momoa as Lobo, and he was made to play that character. He looks so good in that. We're gonna get to see a Krypton from this DCU, which is cool because they didn't really touch on that in the new Superman movie. But this whole trailer just gave me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. It was like, oh, this is Supergirl in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's why I was very underwhelmed. I was like, you did Superman so different. Superman was very different. And I don't know if it was the director trying to pander to James Gunn or something like that, or James Gunn maybe just had his hands in it too much because this is more of a space movie, an outer space movie. She's not on Earth. But this was just like, this just gave me, if I put like Guardians of the Galaxy's trailer of the first movie and of this movie, I would be hard pressed to say these are two different movies.
It's getting tiring talking about the superhero movies because they're all the same now. It's like not the same as in their same movie, but every time you talk about them, it's like, well, this was disappointing. Well, this was disappointing. And the reason they're disappointing is because they set such high bars, especially when the MCU really came together. They set such a high bar that like now when you go any low, like you can't set the bar up and then go below it. Like that's the problem with setting the bar high, right? Is now anything that's not up to that level is not going to be looked at as good. Even if it wasn't bad, it's just going to look that much worse because our expectations are going to be so much higher. So, but going back to DC, and I get them, they have the new regime, which I feel like I say every time I say the DC.
Yeah. Oh, you've said that numerous times.
Because the first iteration was tough.
Yeah,
but I know
very
the
tough.
whole regime. They have the characters. They own all the characters. They should just start making a bunch of video games.
They should, because they've done really well with their video games.
The video games have done so well.
Arkham games are so good. The Injustice games are so good. I mean,
yeah,
because of the Injustice game, they created a whole comic book series from it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, in Marvel kind of pivoted where the Spider-Man games, now Marvel and not the MCU, like Disney doesn't own all that, right? But
yeah.
They pivoted with that, and then they got Wolverine coming out. The Avengers game was pretty popular, if I remember correctly. They
have a new Captain America and Black Panther Black Panther game coming out.
There is the Guardians of the Galaxy game was extremely popular when it came out. Like they're really kind of shifting that way because you can take these characters that everybody loves and you can like.
Which game was a letdown for the MCU? I mean, just Marvel. There was a Marvel game that came out that had a lot of hype to it, and from the gameplay, it looked good. And then
it was the Avengers game.
Was it I think it was the Avengers game. It turned out to be.
And it was supposed to have on this like all the reason I think it was popular, other than it being a Marvel Avengers game, was because there was like an online play thing. Where you can battle other people and all that stuff. But I think it was that one, like the story. I didn't even get through the first 5% of it because the story started. I'm like, yeah, this is not like.
It's not good.
This isn't great. So,
well, speaking about,
I think it was that one.
Games, I'm very excited for the new Batman Lego game. Have you seen anything about that?
I haven't, but I know the Lego games hit.
It's going to go through all of Batman's kind of like him in the media. So like it goes.
By the way, Lego Batman movie is an S tier superhero movie.
S tier superhero movie. Will Arnett as Batman is a slam dunk. So good, slam dunk. So good.
That was a really good spin-off choice.
Yes, very good. It goes through all of the movies and the games. So like it's a story within all of those stories.
That's what they should just do with some of these games.
And that looks so much fun. Like you can get all the Batmobiles, you can get all the bat suits.
Why can't you just do it as a regular?
Oh my god, that'd be so sick.
Why is Lego taking the risks?
I don't know how they haven't like done like a video game like either it's like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Flash, Justice League, where it's like the Harry Potter, where it's open world, where you kind of, or Fallout, where you make you're making your own decisions. You know how like
Spider-Man's a little bit like that. It's pretty open world, and you could put.
You can't take Spider-Man and he can't go to. Can he go to like the X-Men Manor?
Well, you can't go to the X-Men Manor. I don't think it's in there, but like the Strange House is there.
Yeah, can you go inside it?
There, I don't remember if you can go inside.
You probably can't go inside. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like making it like a game like Fallout, where you can go inside like literally everything, every house, everything that's up on the world. You can get into vaults in these universes. Like it'd be so much fun.
Of like Spider-Man are actually searching for your house right now to take you out because like, you know how much went into that game. You want to add more.
Like it would be so cool is like if there was like a Brave and the Bold where like it's a Batman Superman where we can go back and forth to Metropolis and Gotham and like go over to Central City, meet Flash, go fight some rogues that are doing shit.
For all we know, the Avengers game might have been like that. Neither of us played it,
but
so
you
you
didn't.
never know.
Well,
It
it's more on
could
you
have been
because
like that.
apparently you didn't get 5% more in that game.
I did own it. I did not get 5% into it.
So, but yeah, like I would love that stuff, and I think like James Gunn is very serious about the video games. Like he loves all of them. So I know he's putting a lot into that development. And there is rumors of WB Montreal working on a new game. And it's those types of games I'd rather them take a little time.
WB
Not Grand Theft
Netflix
Auto
Paramount.
6 amount of times, but amount of time where it's going to come out and it's going to be really nice. Because like if you think of the stretch between all of like the Batman Arkham games, they were really far apart from each other.
Yeah.
Like from the day that they were
Those
released.
games are great.
And they were amazing, each one of them. So like take your time. If we can get something like that, that'd be great.
The Arkham games are a lot of fun. I just, for your sake and for DC's sake, hope that they didn't miss the boat by getting James Gunn and getting everything together like
Now.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
that,
too.
like, superhero movies are just not what they
That's
were
why, like,
5-10 years ago.
in my mind, I'm not going to be as really upset if like Supergirl isn't that great, because like when I watched the trailer, it gave me there was a bunch of plot holes that I won't get into from the Superman movie, and it kind of like irked me in a way. But then I remembered just a couple of days ago, HBO did what they do every like right before Christmas. They give you just
the app. Change the app.
Yeah, change the app. Give you those like 30-second snippets of all the new shows that are coming out in the next year.
Okay.
And we got a really cool snippet of the Lantern Show. I'm very excited because they say it's like a True Detective type show where there's a big mystery, and Hal Jordan is a vet, and Jon Stewart is going to be the pretty much the main character of this, the main antagonist of this show. I'm very excited about that because I'm just a huge fan of Jon from the Justice
Daily
League show and all of that. So I'm excited for that. So if Supergirl isn't as, great as, like you say, as our expectations are, that's fine. I'm ready for Lanterns. Like that's the one thing that I'm really looking forward to. And the Pit looks really good. I like the Pit. That's a good show.
So I'm going to switch topics a little bit here. Just
go ahead.
I think we spent too much time on the superhero movies for movies that the only one that you said anything positive about, or either of us, was Lanterns at the very tail end of it. Everything else was negative until you just mentioned Lanterns.
Lanterns looks like it's going to be fucking
and it got the least amount of shine. I did promise you before that I would kind of fill you in on the blanks of some stuff. So there was a big Alvin and the Chipmunks thing going on in the last episode. It wasn't just for listeners that haven't listened, I asked Matt off air. I gave him a bunch of artists. I had him tell me what the similarity was. The similarity was they all had less Grammys than Alvin and the Chipmunks. If you're interested in knowing all that stuff, go back to the last episode because I did the whole bit with Joe. That's why we're not doing it this time. And I told you I would tell you where that started. So I don't remember exactly how it came up, but we just rewatched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie, which is just such a good movie. It may have come from that, may have been before that, but I asked Mary, do you have a cartoon from your childhood or a show it could be a show from your childhood that you have really fond memories of, but can't remember a single plot, character, anything from it? And to me, Alvin and the Chipmunks, I remember the theme song. I obviously know Alvin and the Chipmunks, they're in the title.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could tell you a single thing that ever happened in an episode ever of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I have a show like that.
All right, what is it?
Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest. See, I don't remember anything from it because I don't even think I watched Johnny Quest.
I am older than you.
You are.
Like
it's around the same time, though. It's around the same time. I just didn't watch Johnny Quest.
But I remember watching that and liking it a lot. And again, Johnny Quest was also, this was probably reruns for us. Like it was
Yeah, because
Johnny
that's like a
Quest, I think came
70s
out
or
in like
80s, probably 80s.
70s,
Well,
80s.
so Alvin and the Chipmunks was an 80s show, but I watched it at my grandparents' house a lot. So we probably had
Oh,
the
that same
VHS or
here.
something like that. Yeah.
That's what
But
my grandma used to rent from her local library, the VHSs of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
yeah, but you probably couldn't name anything that happened. I
There's only one
rewatched.
episode I remember, and it's like their, I think Alvin like is like their version of Batman.
Nothing. I got nothing. Don't remember that happening whatsoever. I rewatched the theme song once or twice after going on this journey. I could tell you a
Okay.
little about the journey as well, but I won't go into it again. You can hear it all in the last episode. But I didn't even
Ooh.
like. I knew there was 3 girl chipmunks.
Yes.
I didn't realize those were from the TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't name any other characters. We couldn't name the dad. I think it's Dave, but I don't remember.
I thought it is Dave.
We didn't remember. I just thought it was Dave. And then we were trying to remember what Garfield's is, which I believe is John. But I did not know that.
That is John.
I did not know that last week. Trust me. I was like, are they just? Is that Dave too? Are they just all Dave? All the dads are just Dave in cartoons.
It is Dave. It's Dave.
Dave
Seville. Seville.
No one cares about the last name.
All right. Okay. All right.
Well, so I was doing I was doing the research on it, and they said that Dave is the dad of the Chipmunks, and their mom was a chipmunk, and I was like, did Dave bang a chipmunk? But then it goes on to say that he's the stepdad. They were left on his doorstep. By the way, I've had many chipmunks end up on doorsteps and on patios and in backyards and even in garages and sheds. Never thought to take him in and give him a singing career.
Yeah, never.
Way before his time, Dave was. Way before his time. I've had many chipmunks around my house, around my world. Never thought I should take you in as a son and make you sing. So, which I assume that happened in the show, by the way. I assume they sang. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, they sing in the show, but I did find it's a 1990s episode, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Batmonk.
Batmonk, there you go.
Yep,
so
I found it.
You not only remembered, you were correct. Since you're already on the research, how many seasons did it go for?
All right, let me see. Alvin and Chipmunks.
I'm going to say it went for 7. It's either something short like 2 or 3 or something really long like
I looked up Johnny Quest and that came out in 1964 and it only had 26 episodes.
There must have been a remake of it because it's definitely like a very popular show. But shows didn't last that long back then.
Yeah,
they either lasted stupidly long or
right.
they lasted they were just short and then they
so it's a 1983 I'm guessing is the 1983 one we're talking about.
Yeah,
it started, and it was
cartoons. Well, it's at least till 90. It's at least 7 years.
It's 7 seasons.
7 seasons. Wow, I got that on the dot.
7 seasons, and then technically 8, but it's just like a bunch of episodes that were a movie. So like they didn't make it into a movie.
Chipmunks movie.
Yeah. So
before the Squeakquel.
Yeah.
And whatever the third one with the chipmunk pun is called. I don't remember the third. Oh, the Road Chip. The Road Chip, I believe.
The Road Trip, yeah.
One. No, Road Chip.
Chip, yeah.
Road Chip. Come on. They all have a chipmunk pun in them.
Yeah.
Because they star 3 chipmunks and it's called Alvin and the Chipmunks. You have to have chipmunk puns as well. Or nobody will know they're chipmunks the entire time. Duh. Who was wasn't the guy from My Name is Earl, Dave, in the movies?
Yes, that's the more recent movies. Or
the more recent movies. I don't know who was in the cartoons. I don't even remember the episodes.
Yeah,
there's no way I'm gonna remember who the dad was.
But anyway, so
they've been around forever. The first song Alvin and the Chipmunks ever did was Witch Doctor, which is the song that goes ooh ee ooh ah ah ding dang wanna bing bang. That was the first
That
song
song
Alvin
is called
killed.
Witch Doctor.
The Witch Doctor. Yes.
What?
Yeah. Because
Does
it
he
says
even
something about the
say it
Witch
in that?
Doctor. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in the chorus or right before, or it's in the bridge, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere in there. I'm no music expert, but it's somewhere in
I
there.
don't. Yeah, I don't think I've. Well, one, I've definitely listened to that song before. I just haven't heard it.
You just only know the ooh, ee, ooh. You don't know the
Yeah,
actual lyrics to it. Yeah, it's the same
and I
here.
feel like so many different. Like I feel like the Rugrats did a different take on that song.
Rugrats did a couple of them. Yeah, probably during the
Yeah,
movies. They had the Rugrats in Paris, and then they had a different
wasn't
one where they
it ooh
covered a lot
ee
of
ooh
songs.
ah ah ching ching wow wow bang bang?
Oh, I have no idea.
Was that
I
from Rugrats? The first
I
one
don't
when they
know.
were stuck in the woods.
I just remember. I think it was Boots Are Made for Walking. They did a little cover of or something like that, and
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
I remember. It's also where Dill comes into play.
Yeah,
Reptar Mobile had a little
we all
action
figure
figure of
out at a
that.
young age that Tommy's parents still have sex.
They're still banging. They're
They're
still
still
banging it
banging.
out. They're
They're like,
still
"Yep, we're gonna
banging
give
it
you another
out.
one, Tom."
That's where wait, is that no. Is that where Dill comes in? Dill comes in the movie before that.
Yeah,
I
Dill
think
comes in the first movie.
the Chucky's dad's new wife comes in
Yeah,
and
his new piece comes
parents, and
in.
then
Yeah,
what is the little girl's name? Kimmy or something like that.
Kimmy. Yeah, Kimmy,
See, I
the
remember
Asian
way
girl.
more about this. I
Yeah,
watched it around the
obviously.
same time, but I watched it around the same time, same
Yeah, that's
age,
true.
same
I guess it
age.
just put him. It was also like a huge phenom when Rugrats became a
I remember
movie.
Rugrats the movie when it first. That's what I'm
It
saying.
was
Reptar
huge.
Mobile. I had a Reptar Mobile.
Yeah. Oh, the Reptar mobile for sure. I had like a
Yeah,
Reptar backpack. I was like,
yeah. Reptar was the thing.
I want to, I
Reptar
want
was
to,
it.
I want to see first Rugrats movie. Gross.
Yeah, let's hear it. Well, you're saying that. Another thing we had for Nintendo 64 was the Rugrats game. I think it was Rugrats in Paris the game, which was basically a Rugrats version of Mario Party. It was just a board game. Still own the game on N64. Still own it.
Oh, the Rugrats game.
The Rugrats game on
So I used to
N64.
see that game all the time
Yeah,
at my video rental place because you can rent
yeah,
N64 games,
yeah.
and I never picked it up. Never did.
Yeah, I think we just had it because it was Rugrats, and you just bought everything that was Rugrats. And then, yeah, still have it to this day. It's over in my cabinet with the. I think I only have two N64 games because they're hard to buy. They're so expensive for absolute. Same with GameCube. They're just so expensive for no reason.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
I bought Luigi's Mansion because I've been dying to play it for a long time.
Yeah.
And so a couple years ago, I just got my new job and I was doing pretty good for myself. So I went
Mr.
out and I got
Moneybags
Luigi's
over
Mansion.
there.
Yeah, Mr. Moneybags until I bought Luigi's Mansion. No, it was
Yeah.
like $40, and I'm like, the problem
Why?
with it
Why
is
is it $40? Like what's the reason?
when it came out, it was like $40. It was just
Yeah.
the same price as it was. So the reason I bought it though is I bought it at like this little pop up like Comic-Con thing. It was a very very small localized one in
Okay.
Manchester, Connecticut. And the reason I bought it is because multiple times in my life I've gone to
Mhm.
video game stores or Comic-Cons or Collecticons, whatever, and it's been there. And I see it, and I always say I'll come back to it, and I always come back to it, and it's gone because it's GameCube games are hard to find, and
Yeah.
you know, especially, but every time I saw it, $60, $65, $70, $80. So then I went to this small localized one. It was there. It was $40, which is much cheaper than it was anywhere else. And I bought it immediately and I went home and I played it, which apparently is a cardinal sin when you buy this stuff. Like, oh, I want to play the game I bought. Good Lord. That's collecting things is such a frustrating
Oh,
thing.
it's
Like
so annoying. It's so
I've
annoying.
worked
Well,
I've worked a lot of these events and I've worked with a lot of these people and like they just ruin the fun of this stuff. Like cards were never meant for adults. What are we doing?
yeah. Well, I bought a Game Boy Advanced. Like I was just like, I need a Game Boy, and I saw
Yeah.
it, and like if you want a Game Boy Color, it's like
Oh, forget
two
about
hundred
it.
something,
Yeah,
$300,
forget about
and I'm
it.
like,
They're
I'm
so
not doing that.
expensive.
The Game Boy Advance was like $95. So I was like,
still silly.
I'm going to do it anyway. And then I was like, well, what game do I want? Because I'm not going to start buying a bunch of games. I'll just start with one, beat it, and then go to the next one. So I was like, I want to get Pokemon. So forget trying to buy any of the original ones. Because those are like
yeah. If you don't already own it,
hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
You may as well get Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah. So I got silver for no joke $150.
That's wild. You almost don't want to play it at that point.
At that point, no. I hardly play it because I'm kind of mad at myself.
Yeah. I play Pokemon Blue, but I have my original version.
Right. Yeah.
Pokemon
I don't
Blue.
know where any of my original stuff went.
All of my game systems, except for my GameCube, I did get that again while I was in college. So I had, the purple one that everyone had. Probably sold it when GameStop used to screw us out of everything.
That's probably where all my stuff went. I probably just gave it to GameStop.
GameStop before they decided not to give you any money. Like there was a time when GameStop's deals were like not half bad.
Yeah.
Remember that when there was like a lot of competition and then they bought up EB Games and everything and then there was no competition. So I probably sold it to them for much less than it's worth even now. But then I was at a game store, God knows where, somewhere in Connecticut, because that's where I went to undergrad. And they had a GameCube, silver GameCube, for like $70. So I picked it up there. They had like a ton of them. They had like 50 of them just sitting there. So I picked one up there, and I've had that ever since. But every other system I own. So I have a Game Boy SP. I have a DS. I have a 3DS. Actually, 3DS. We'll tell you a story about that in a second. The Wii U, N64, all those systems that I have, those are all I've just kept them. I just never got rid of them.
Well, the one thing that I didn't get rid of, and I'm happy I never got rid of, was my PlayStation 2. I still have it.
I still have my PlayStation 2 Slim Silver.
I have the original one. I have the thick one, the original, and I still have like probably 60 games.
Yeah, I have a 360 still. I have the PlayStation 2 still.
I got rid of my 360 because every other time I turned it on, I'd get the red ring of death, and then it would go back to normal.
I still can't believe that they just got away with that. Just selling
selling lemons. You're selling lemons.
Selling something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Then just send it
selling
in,
lemons.
pay for the shipping. We'll just send you back. Okay.
It's so dumb.
I want to play. I want to play Modern Warfare, so I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, I want to play Halo. Come on.
Yeah, I want to play Halo. I guess I'll do it.
So sorry, I had to bring it a little bit back, but the Rugrats movie. It was the budget for it was $24 million.
It's about right. Yeah, that sounds right.
It made $140.9 million worldwide.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, because it was a phenom. I just remember everything that happened when that movie was coming out.
And Rugrats in Paris, I probably did more.
Higher
budget, but probably also did more. And that and Jimmy Neutron both had original songs by Aaron Carter.
That's right. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Both had original songs by Aaron Carter. My Interview legend. So that's what I remember about that as well. And I think
it did a little less. It did $103.3 million.
$40 million less.
Yeah, and it did with a $30 million budget.
So less budget, but no, more budget, but less money brought in.
It did make more money in the U.S. than it did. So in the U.S. of the first one,
all the marketing went there.
It made $46.5 million. In North America, and for Paris, it made $76.5 million.
Isn't that funny? The international one made less international money, but more in America. Like,
probably
this is what Paris is like, huh? This is
crazy. This is crazy. And Paris was like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. This isn't what it's like.
This is so stupid. You guys fucked us on this one.
I'm pretty sure "Leave It Up to Me" was the Aaron Carter song. I kind of want you to look this up. I want to see if I'm right on this.
All right. I
think "Leave It Up to Me" was the one that was from Rugrats. And then "Not Too Young and Not Too Old" is the one from Jimmy Neutron, but I could have those confused. But I do know that there was 2 original AC songs. If you're listening, you don't know who that is. Go look.
Aaron Carter's song he did it for Rugrats in Paris.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay. Life is a Party.
Ah, that's right. Life is a party.
Alongside its hit, Baha Men's Who Let the Dogs Out.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't from that movie.
It was already out.
I do remember that one being in there.
Yeah.
And all the animals in Paris
and then you said the Jimmy Neutron movie?
I think that one was Not Too Young, Not Too Old. Wonder if that one was Leave It Up to Me. I thought that was from one of them. He did it for like a bunch of those Nickelodeon movies and shows. He was all over Nickelodeon at the time. He didn't have I don't think he had a TV show on Nickelodeon though. Just surprising.
And
he definitely had one.
Aaron Carter had several songs on the Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius movie soundtrack, with his main hit being "Leave It Up to Me."
So I was kind of right. I knew that was on one of them. I just remember that music video very vividly.
Yeah. Leave It Up to Me, and then it's AC's Alien Nation, and then Go Jimmy Jimmy.
I don't know either. I don't even know either of those. I only know the hits.
Yeah,
I wonder who has more Grammys without looking. Let's take a guess. Who has more Grammys? Alvin and the Chipmunks or Aaron Carter?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I don't even think he has one actually. Who has more Nickelodeon Choice Awards? That's actually where we should go.
That's Aaron Carter.
But with all the movies, and don't forget, Alvin and the Chipmunks was a TV show on Nickelodeon. It may have some. And I don't even know where you go to find the answer to this. Like the Grammys, I just go to Wikipedia. Do you go to Wikipedia to find Kids' Choice Awards? I have absolutely no idea.
I have no idea.
How legitimate is a Kids' Choice Award?
Yeah, I
don't know.
What does that do for your status in Hollywood?
Do you think people just hate doing it and getting slimed? They're like, oh god.
Well, the best sliming is what was the one was Katy Perry, and she got rocked. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
talking about. That video is fucking hilarious. It's like whoever was clocking or getting that slime cannon set up did not like Katy Perry.
Hey, everybody, watch this. You know, he had good reasons too. She's not the best person.
This is the only time I'm going to be able to do this, guys. So watch this.
She's not a great person. So good. Hats off to that person that slimed her.
Yeah, that guy who was working that cannon, he knew what he was doing.
So I went to the Wikipedia to try to find this. I was like, oh, I'll just like click awards because he had to have won some awards. Nowhere you can click for his awards, unfortunately. So we won't know what awards Aaron Carter has won. He's definitely got like stacks of Nick's Choice Awards. Choice Awards for people listening.
What it is. So he has Kids Choice Award, Aaron's Party. Come and get it.
All right, so you found all of his.
There's only 2.
He only has 2.
No, this says the other
9.
Oh, these are the 2 that came up.
Okay.
The 2 that came up was the Kids Choice Award for Aaron's Party. Come get it, and Radio Disney Music Award for Best Male Artist.
And what year was that? Yeah, the only one that came up
2002.
Just now when I looked up awards. That's all. Did you looked up awards?
Like, yeah, actually, I just typed in Aaron Carter's awards.
Yeah, I got 2 more. Houndling Award in 2016, and then a Teen Choice Award. So, if anybody's wondering, the Kids' Choice Award, you can't even find the winners. So that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
You can't even find the winners of these things. So
you never know.
You never know. Rest in peace, my man AC, though.
Yeah, rest in peace. I feel so bad that he passed.
So I want to go way back because I was going to tell you about the 3DS I got.
Okay.
So I was at I think it was a game. I think it was a GameStop. It was just like a local GameStop in New York. I was home for whatever reason in New York a couple years
Okay.
ago, and I've never owned a 3DS. I've always thought of owning a 3DS, and they had one, a 3DS. It was like $100 or something like that. So I was like, ooh, that's kind of pricey, but they're all going to be that at this point, right? Like it was only maybe 3-4 years ago. Again, had the money to do it, so I was like, all right, you know what? I'll do it. I'll get the 3DS. I want to play. I love 3D World, which is like a Wii game, a Wii U game and stuff. Like it's one of my favorite ones. 3D Land is on the 3DS. So I was like, I've always wanted to play that. And then obviously there's the Pokemon games that I've wanted to play. And so I said, screw it, and I did it.
Jesus, dude, these go for so much money. What the
Okay,
fuck?
so
There's one here that's $1,800.
So look up, because you're already looking up. I'll keep talking, so the listeners and viewers
Don't
still
get
have
mad at us.
yeah. So we're just typing on our computers because that's really good content. So I will tell you the one that I got. I could tell you the price that I got it for. I'm looking at that right now. Okay.
All right.
So the one I got is the Nintendo 3DS XL NES edition. Okay. So it's the one that looks like an NES. I got it for $77.99. What is the market value on it now?
Jeez, I'm seeing $7.49.
$7.49
No,
or
$749.99.
Yeah. So I've had it locked away because I bought this like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And open and used, the value went up like 600%.
Jesus.
GameStop messed up.
Well, they say here underneath, I'm just looking at, this is from a place called the Video Game something or another, but it says here, it says $749.99, usually $1,200.
Yeah. I bought it for under $100.
Fuck.
But like I don't sell it because like I don't want to. Like I want to play it. Like I don't play it as much, so I have thought about selling it recently. Right. Like I said, I have a couple games on it and stuff like that. Was just featured in a post by my team recently. So if you saw that, that was the same $1,200 3DS that we were using in there. But yeah, I haven't sold it or anything yet. I've been thinking about it because I just don't. If I want to play something like mobily, I just play my Switch.
Yeah, that's right. I think you would play. Like, when did this come out?
I got my 3DS before. I don't know when it came out. I got the 3DS probably around the same time or before I got the Switch, maybe. No, I got the Switch in like 17 or 18. I don't know why I got the 3DS. I don't know why I do things sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted to play some games. I think there were 2 games I really wanted to play. It was 3D Land. I really wanted to play, and you couldn't get it anywhere. And Luigi's Mansion 2, because I played 3 and I played 1, but 2 is only on the 3DS. And I wanted to play that, so I played all 3. Okay. And then I got Rising Sun or whatever as well. There was Sun and Moon. Maybe it wasn't Rising Sun. Maybe it's just Pokemon Sun. But I got Sun as well. So, like, there was a couple games that I wanted to play that I wanted to and then I was very big into transferring Pokemon into my Switch, the Switch box that you can get. So I can then use them on the mainline versions of them. Okay. So I would go on and I would transfer it, and then I would put it on the Switch, and then I'd bring it into the new games. And there was, like I said, who knows why I do things, but now it's like $1,200. Yeah,
it's insane what I'm seeing the price for these.
When I searched it recently, which is probably a year ago, it was like $350. So it's going up even more, which is telling me I shouldn't sell it yet.
Yeah.
Might be able to have a down payment on a house soon.
Yeah, no, that means you keep that and you just leave it alone. Make sure there's not a dust in anything, and then
it's been sitting in its case in a place in my house.
Or is it in my house?
Or is it in my house? Or is it somewhere else? Who knows?
Yeah, I
It's
don't think
definitely not in the shot right now.
I. um, yeah, I don't think I've really ever seen this like out in the wild, like
No,
in real
I
life.
haven't either. I think the reason I got it at the time I did is just because it was such a cool design too. Like I love the NES. It's not my favorite system, but I do love the NES.
We have that here.
You have the NES. It's one that I want to re-add to
So, girlfriend Carrie has all of them.
I think I knew this actually.
Yeah, all the old school, like up until
Yeah.
the 64. She doesn't have like GameCube or anything,
Yeah.
but like
See, I'm
up until
past.
64.
I have the 64 and after, and she has the 64 and before.
Yeah,
We
it's
can
quite a
combine,
collection.
make a museum.
I know, right? Make our
Have you
own
ever been to the
Nintendo
video
museum.
game museum?
No,
Fort
I
Worth?
actually
Or
haven't.
in,
I've been
it's
wanting.
not Fort Worth. It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
sick.
such a weird place to have it. But
Yeah, I
was
don't know
there
why
a
it's
lot
there.
of like? It seems like Texas would be the place where, like, in the beginning, a lot of like gaming companies would go because they probably had cheap places to.
Well,
like-
Nintendo started in the 1800s, so and it also started in like Japan.
Yeah, sorry.
So I don't think it started.
But
in
I'm talking
Dallas.
about like other brands that would get their start.
Yeah,
there.
maybe.
Because it's so random to think of the.
It's in Frisco. It's not totally random because Frisco has a lot. Like the Star is there, the Soccer Hall of Fame is there. Like there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of attractions in Frisco. So
Yeah,
it's
but
not
like,
totally
why
random.
is the Soccer Hall of Fame in Texas?
I believe probably has something to do with where it was or is headquartered or where U.S. Soccer really started. I don't know. I went through it once. I don't remember what happened there. I was literally just looking for Tab Ramos because he used to be the coach of when I was at Hartford, and I would like send him photos. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, there you are. You're like, yeah, I'm all over the place there. I was like, yeah, because you're a freaking Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you're a Hall of
all over the
Famer.
place here.
But yeah,
the video game hall is cool. It's very, very interactive. Really, really cool. But like,
I would hope it's very interactive for a video game place.
Well, not all museums are. Like you could.
Well, for a
play
video
old
game place, I would
systems.
want it to be.
Yeah, but
interactive.
No, I mean, there's
like
some
I don't expect to go to National History Museum and have everything interactive there.
It should be.
Why?
Because I don't want to just look at stuff.
Well, that's like they have like old
I want to
things
paint
from.
it.
It's like old shit from
paint
like
over
from years and years, centuries
So
ago.
last century, dude. I want to paint over it.
You want to paint
but
over
no,
it.
it's very interactive.
You want to
There-
Banksy it?
Yeah. One of the cool things is like at one part of the museum, there's just like they go through the eras of like the video game consoles.
Oh,
So they
cool.
have a console in a living room or bedroom set up like that era. So like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s.
So Pong, the first video game, Pong.
Yeah, Pong is like it's like 60s, 70s, and it's like
Yep.
in this like old living room with a black and white TV and everything. And like I said, it goes all the way up. Then there's like a kid's bedroom from like the 80s, and then there's like a living room from the 90s. And it
Do
goes
they have like
up.
a retro? Oh my god, why am I blanking on it? But like arcade, where all
So,
the retro
at the
arcade
very
games
end,
are.
when you go in, you get tokens, and at the very end, you get to play. I think it's 4 tokens each. You get to play 4 old school pinball or video games. There's a whole arcade at the end that you could play old school arcade games in.
Mm,
So yes, they do have that.
that's pretty cool.
When I was there, it's not there anymore, I'm sure, because this is during the anniversary. When I was there, the original Super Mario Brothers movie had its own little section, and man, did it bring back nostalgia. People don't like that movie, but I remember fondly that movie just because I loved Mario so much. Not that I actually thought the movie was like good, probably,
yeah.
but like just the fact I was watching a Mario movie, it was very strange. I remember, but when I got there, the memory banks were hitting. I was like, oh yeah, that's this. Oh yeah, that's the shirt he wore. That's right. Yeah, he wore that shirt. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a movie. So I have a fun. Like I did like that movie. I liked that movie because it was Super Mario. Like
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't-
I was 10.
Why are you not? And yeah, exactly. But I
I
remember
liked everything when I was 10. I liked all the Star Wars movies that came out in the 2000s when I was 10 because it was Star Wars. I had no idea. I don't know about the plot. I don't care
Yeah,
about the plot.
you don't
It's
care
like,
about the plot. You care
dude,
about the
that's
action.
cool.
You care about the action, and like that's it.
They have the light swords.
And it's like when you first realize, like, oh, do I think that woman in there is pretty? Do I actually like that? It's like a question that you don't ever answer until later down the line, but it's that the question poses itself at that point.
Do I care about the plot holes? No,
Yeah.
I didn't notice them. Again, I was 10. I didn't notice plot holes in movies.
So when I first saw that movie, my one good friend from New Jersey, his family up and left and went to California. And he moved all the way across, and his father had a huge catalog of movies. Like he was a movie collector. Like he just had this huge library, and it got moved out there. And my parents were already getting ready to buy a place, and they bought a place not far. So when I would go out there, I would get to see him, and we would do like a 3-day sleepover thing. And my parents would get to see his parents. They were close. And we would just go sit in this room with a huge TV and just 2 chairs, and we would just watch movies. And he was like, dude, do you want to watch the Super Mario? Because we just, I think, played Super Smash or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know they had a movie. He's like, yeah, let's watch it. My dad has it in the collection. So we put the movie in and we watch it. And I remember being like, this is pretty dope. This is cool. I like this.
Yeah, because it was Mario. And you didn't care that it looked nothing like it, or
and I will tell you why.
Looks like a street urchin.
I forgot about that movie. Because once that movie was over, he goes, do you want to see something even better? And I was like, what could be better? He goes, let's watch Mortal Kombat. And I was like, after I watched Mortal Kombat, the Mario movie was gone. I was like, I am all with this. This is my jam right here.
I am not going to lie. I was waiting for that story to end with him pulling out the porn.
Oh, no.
You want to see something even better?
Yeah. You want to see anything better? There was
Girls Go Wild.
There was a movie that he had in that he definitely had old porn, but he never kept it out. So like I didn't find out till later. Yeah. But there was, I think it was called like Heavy Metal, like 3000 or something like that. Yeah. Heavy Metal 3000.
The animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, that's not for kids.
No, not at all.
But that was the one movie that he did leave out. And we would try so hard to watch that movie. We tried so hard to watch that movie. And he would we watched The Godfather, we watched The Matrix, we watched like rated R movies. And at that point, again, I was like,
rated X.
Yeah, it's not rated X. But when it came to heavy metal, it was teetering on that line.
That's rated X.
It's not even rated. It's not even rated.
Not even rated.
It's not even rated. So he always told us, he's like, this is out here because it's part of this collection. You guys cannot watch this. So we'd always wait until he would go to bed.
Fell into the VCR.
And dude, he got so mad at us. One night we thought he went to bed. He totally knew what we were up to. And just came barging in, and it was just the opening credits just started, and he was like, turn it off, we're going to bed. We're like, no. We never got past the opening credits of that movie.
The song One Way Ticket to Midnight.
Yeah, and he knew exactly what was playing.
Yeah. I do.
You can never get past it. Yep.
Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us on this holiday episode. We didn't really talk about the holidays, but it's still a holiday episode. We talked. All right. We did talk about Alvin the Chipmunks. So,
Alvin the Chipmunks. What was your favorite video game you got for Christmas
this year?
Any year. This year and any year.
Well, there's been a lot of them. I would have to go with because it's maybe my favorite game of all time. I'll have to go with Sunshine. Did get that as a bundle for Christmas. Wasn't an original GameCube bundle, if you remember.
Yeah,
Sunshine.
it wasn't. No.
I don't know if a Mario, maybe 64, has a Mario game ever been the opening bundle to any Nintendo system?
It
The
was
Switch wasn't.
no, it wasn't Mario. It was Super Smash for 64.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I
It
don't
was
think
never
Mario was
Mario.
ever the opening title because the Switch was Breath of the Wild. I
Oh,
don't know
that's
what the
right.
Wii
Yeah,
was though. I
I
don't
can't
remember
remember
many
what the
things
Wii
about the
was.
Wii. I enjoyed the Wii and the Wii U, but
I
mostly I like
love the Wii.
a
I
lot of people.
love the
I
Wii.
say that like a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people loved the Wii.
God, the Wii was so much fun.
People didn't like the Wii U because it was just an extension of the Wii system.
Yeah,
But I
I
enjoyed
never
it
got
because
that.
that's where 3D World was, and that's one of my favorite Mario games ever.
Okay, yeah, I never played the Wii U.
Yeah, it was just the Wii, just with better graphics, and you had the little. It was like the test drive of the Switch because you had the gamepad that you could just play it on the gamepad. You didn't even need the TV, which is great
Right,
for me because like people would want to watch TV, but I'd want to be playing some Mario game or something.
right.
So, but that's also where cross compatibility did not happen. Like you couldn't play the GameCube games like you could on
The Wii.
the Wii and stuff like that, and that's where it all went downhill.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I would say probably Sunshine. On that note, by the way, I'm two straight episodes. I'm about to do this every episode until they finally do it. Bring back Mario Baseball, man. That's
Yeah,
all we
you've
want
been
is
trying to
Mario
do it. Yeah,
Baseball,
Mario
man.
Baseball
Like
would be dope.
we don't need another tennis game.
Yeah,
Bring
yeah.
back Mario Baseball. Make it good. Don't give me 8 characters and then
I
do
know.
a
Like,
DLC
make
6
it
months later.
make it Mario going up against like Otani. Make it
No,
fun.
well, that's not what I mean by it. What I mean by it is when they come out with these sports games now, they give you like 6 characters, and then they DLC 6 months later the rest of the characters when no one cares about it anymore. That's
Yeah,
not the way to do it. Just give me the characters now and let me unlock them as I play. Like
yeah,
what's happened since the beginning of goddamn time.
yeah.
Like let
For
me
all
unlock
games.
the characters as I play, and then that's
Yeah.
cool. I'm good to do it. But they don't like doing that. They'd rather just oh, now you get Rosalina for free. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I still would have gotten her for free. I just had to
Fuck
unlock
Rosalina.
her.
I'm
I
tired
just
of
had
this
to,
shit.
I just had to unlock her. I got her for free still. I didn't pay
Yeah.
for it. Like, I paid for the game, but I got her later. It's the whole fun of the game is unlocking things. I'll never
Yeah.
forget like playing Smash and doing the challenge, and you have to finish it at 11 to get Luigi. Like that was awesome. Like that's what I whatever.
That's fun. That
That's
keeps you
fun.
going. That keeps you going.
That's fun. I don't
It
need
gets the people going.
DLCs.
That gets the people going.
DLCs and the in-game purchases.
Well, they just
ruining
do them
video
wrong
games.
for Nintendo. Like DLCs for like my Batman games are fucking awesome.
Yeah, and they're also you have to pay for them. That's the difference between Nintendo.
Unless you
don't
get
pay
like
for
the
any of them.
special editions and they come
Yeah.
with them.
Why don't we just have the game completed and give it to me? So why are we doing
It's too
DLCs?
easy.
And, yeah,
It's too easy. That's too cheap, dude. That's too cheap.
Yeah, too cheap. Too cheap for them. Like, oh, we
Yeah.
need more. We need more bread.
Yeah.
We need a little more money from you. Anyway,
My favorite Christmas game was Batman Arkham Origins because it
yeah, the
happens
Arkham
on
series
Christmas.
is awesome.
It happens on Christmas. That whole game happens during Christmas and New Year's. And it's just so dope. And then that's the cool DLC that I like.
Yeah.
That I'll never. They recreate the episode of the Mr. Freeze episode from the Batman animated series in this short DLC.
I think I have that same type of feeling
So fucking awesome.
with the Miles Morales Spider-Man that came out.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing. It's at Christmas time, so like
Yeah.
you kind of play it just for that.
Well, that's what I've been
Christmas
doing.
feel.
I've been like, when I get like a little downtime, I've been playing Arkham Origins because it's the Christmas time. So it gets me
Yeah.
in the Christmas spirit.
That's that's me with Animal Crossing. I got back into Animal Crossing because like
What?
I listen to the lo-fi Animal Crossing music at work a lot. Like I have a headphone in and just kind of like, it's just nice to have in the background.
Uh-huh.
And so I started playing Animal Crossing again. Apparently there's a new DLC that just came out for Animal Crossing very recently.
Oh my God. Do you know?
I restarted it.
Do you know?
I destroyed my island. I restarted from the beginning, which is
So-
like something you don't do. Like you don't destroy your island. I did it. It took me a while to come up with a decision, but I was like, it's not fun. I've already beaten the game. Like that's why I don't play it anymore. So I started
Okay.
from the beginning.
So the last week, the week I was sick, I was at a funeral for a good buddy, my buddy Rob. Shout
Before
out
you
to
were sick.
Yeah, the week that I wasn't here.
Yes.
I was at a funeral. Shout out to my buddy Rob. His mother passed away. She was a great woman. But I saw all my buddies from college. We all went. And my one buddy goes, dude, do you guys know what I play now? Do you remember the game RuneScape? And I was like, wait, you play RuneScape? He's like, yeah, dude. And I was like, why? Like, he's like, no, I can, when I'm at work, I can do things on RuneScape that like I can have my character fish or go mine and stuff. And I just hit buttons when I get those notifications. That's why it's the greatest game. And then I just sit at home and I play RuneScape. And I was like, I haven't heard that game in like freaking forever.
Yeah. I like I said, the Animal Crossing is almost the same. Like for me, it's just, you could just kind of relax your mind and
just play it.
It's not like a strategy game. It's not an intense game. It's like the complete opposite of an intense game. So yeah, I like it. It's been a while since I've really played it. I mean, obviously during COVID, everybody was playing it, but
yeah, I feel like I heard about it a lot during COVID.
Yeah, no one really plays it that much anymore. Which part of the fun was going island to island and seeing all your friends, and none of my friends play it anymore. So it's like
I feel like it was Animal Crossing and Sims that like had a huge revival during COVID.
Yeah, they released a bunch of new DLCs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really hated Sims. It bored me.
I think I liked it as a kid, but as an adult,
as a kid, no. I was more into Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I was gonna say Roller Coaster Tycoon was it. Like that.
Like I was obsessed.
I downloaded Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 for the Switch.
Oh, nice.
They have it on the Switch.
That's pretty dope.
I hope everybody out there has a happy holiday. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Instagram, X, TikTok, Sketching Up Pod on all of them, right?
Every single
podcast on all of them. Okay. But on YouTube, it's Sketching Up Podcast at Sketching Up Podcast. So subscribe to us on YouTube at Sketching Up Podcast. Follow us on all their socials at Sketching Up Pod. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to on Spotify, on Apple Music, and all that stuff. Wherever you get your podcast, go listen and go subscribe to us there as well. Help get the follower count up. And talk to us online and tell us what you want us to do in episodes and stuff like that.
It's a new year. Let us know what you want to hear. We'll talk about a lot of things.
New year, new us.
New year, new us, baby.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see you on the flip. We'll see you in 2026.
See you on the flippity flop.
Have a good holiday season. Be safe. And this is it for Sketching Up in 2025. See you later.
Deuce.